Steve Durant, principal at Alta Planning and Design, has a long tenure working on trails in active rail corridors. From high-speed commuter trains to infrequent freight operations, Steve's work across the U.S. and right here in Spokane have helped to define best practices in rail with trail development. Steve and his crew at Alta have been working with the Portland Metro, Portland Parks, and rail operator Dick Samuels, Oregon Pacific Railroad, for many years on the Springwater Trail, first in the original alignment and currently on the gap in the Sellwood neighborhood. This segment is tough because of overhead and underground utility locations within the right-of-way. As far as rail with trail, the work included moving the rail line within the right-of-way to help solve challenges the operator had with erosion. Several short sections illustrate the narrowest possible arrangement for a trail next to an operating railroad. One of Steve's favorite projects is the Cedar Lake Regional Trail in Minneapolis. This long-term project includes the redevelopment of an abandoned rail yard into a native prairie in the heart of the city. The adjacent BNSF main line carries many 50-mile-per-hour coal trains and other freight each day. The trail alignment, rail yard reclamation, and other amenities are now an integral part of the city's renowned park and parkway system. This project has garnered many national awards and was recognized by the Federal Highway Administration for design excellence using transportation enhancement funds. This past summer, another goal was achieved. After 15 years, a major connection through downtown Minneapolis was completed. The mile-long segment runs through a new professional baseball stadium, defined where a commuter rail line would be located, and relocated part of the Federal Reserve Bank sculpture garden. Steve put this on the 100-year plan 15 years ago. The Cedar Lake Regional Trail also crosses the TWC, a local freight short line. This signed at-grade crossing sees several trains per day. The trail has over 100,000 users per year, and it operates in every season. Closer to home, Steve worked with Clark County, Washington on the Chalachi Prairie Rail with Trail projects. This 32-mile rail line is owned by the county and operated as a short-line railroad similar to the Springwater's Oregon Pacific Railroad. A mile of this mostly rural trail was open to the public in December. The county is pursuing funding for additional segments and will develop them incrementally. Clark County Public Works is performing their own final design. Steve serves as a design advisor and troubleshooter. Steve's work on the Stafford Basin Trail is a good snapshot of the amenities we know are important on all trails. In this project, in the Portland suburb of Lake Oswego, it was important to define the trail area district from the community garden and the natural areas adjacent to it. The split rail fence gives the clear message that the trail is a separate place, without the aesthetic or safety hazard for equestrians of a chain link fence. This trail includes a large boardwalk crossing a wetland and seasonal stream. There's a map, kiosk, interpretive and commemorative markers, sitting areas, and a low-key parking area. It's elegant and modest, very appropriate for the setting. Finally, a career project for Steve was the Spokane River Centennial Trail. He named it, helped build the organizational structure, prepared the master plan and the acquisition plan. He led the construction document phase with Taylor engineers for many difficult miles and performed several 5-year updates, gap studies, and troubleshooting. It's a defining feature for the region and a true amenity. The Spokane Valley Millwood Trail will add a lot of value to the regional trail network. Fred Ogram has been involved in regional trail design for nearly 20 years and has been a sought-out charrette leader for the National Park Service Rivers, Trails, and Conservation Assistance Program, including Liberty Lake, Rathdrum Mountain, Lake Pend Oreille, and Milltown Dam trail design projects. His trail work on the Spokane River is directly relative to your project. This includes the North Bank Trail from Division Street to Gonzaga University. This trail allows users to cross the Spokane River at Division Street Bridge to link the north side riverbank to the southern riverbank Centennial Trail. This spur trail created much-needed connectivity between downtown Spokane with Kavanaugh's River Inn Hotel the Ripples Restaurant, and Gonzaga University campus to the east. This section of riverfront required the design of cantilevered boardwalk in order to protect critical shoreline habitat and to traverse steep gradient. This soft touch approach was utilized throughout and included multi-agency permitting approvals. Another riverfront trail with similar qualities is the Silver Park Trail, located in downtown Missoula, Montana, set along the Clark Fork River. This 12-foot wide, multi-purpose trail officially opened this past fall. It required multi-agency permitting and review. The plans were designed to conform to the Community Transportation Enhancement Program, otherwise known as CTEP. This is a Montana program that funds transportation-related projects designed to strengthen the cultural, aesthetic, and environmental aspects of Montana's intermodal transportation system. The CTEP allows for implementation of a variety of non-traditional projects. This project required the design of a custom steel and timber bridge with slope deck in order to tie into adjacent grades and fit in with the overall theme. The trail had to also minimize cut and fills to less than 10 cubic yards because of the close proximity to the shoreline. As for trail details and amenities, Fred has always taken a hands-on approach to creating context-sensitive design that reinforces a strong sense of place. At Silver Park Trail, he envisioned 3 historically based thresholds that would pay tribute to the region's rich history in logging, mining, and historic mill site. He recommended the salvaging of 100-plus-year-old logs that were submerged behind the Milltown Dam, and then retain them for a national timber frame competition. That successfully completed competition produced 3 uniquely beautiful timber shelters, each with benches that were placed along the trail. You can also see Fred's attention to detail in his work on the Pulaski Trail in the Silver Valley. This trail's 2-mile course ultimately brings hikers back through history to a spot across the creek from the historic Pulaski Tunnel, the abandoned mine where Big Ed Pulaski saved all but 6 of his 45-man firefighting crew in the Great Fire of 1910. The trail has been equipped with numerous large-format porcelain interpretive signs and a number of bridges where the trail crosses the creek. An outdoor classroom setting was designed so that school groups could take the hike and sit while overlooking the adit. This required the use of down logs and on-site rocks to build stone steps, grade beams, and the bases to the interpretive signs. A helicopter was even utilized to lower carefully recreated mineshaft timbers that were burned to replicate the historic condition of the adit immediately following the Great Fire. Both the trail and the mine are listed on the National Register of Historic Places.